Welcome everyone to the Shipwreck Podcast. Back. Yes, we are back. Welcome everybody. Once again, this is your man right here, Billy Bob, affectionately known at work. We're here today to get some venting out, get some things out. There's a lot of things been happening in the world since the last time we talked. It's been a couple years, actually. It's been a long time since we actually had a chance to sit down and talk and get over some things that's been going on in the world today. Man, a lot has changed in the last couple of years. First off, we got a new president, or shall I say old but new. He's out here doing a lot of things that I can't see anybody really liking or wanting, but obviously half the country did. Half the country either voted for him or stayed home and didn't vote at all. So here we are, all having to suffer. But so we're here today. We got the comfort couch behind me. You can go ahead and have a seat, and you can vent. This is for us today. This isn't a true Shipwreck Podcast where I'm gonna have a difference of opinion with someone. I would love for somebody to come on with a difference of opinion. I would love to hear why you would like what's going on in the world today. Hopefully we'll have somebody that will do that. But if we don't, it's okay. We're here. I'm here. Hopefully you're there. And we're going to get things started. So once again, I said, welcome to the Shipwreck Podcast. Like I said, it's been a minute. If you get a chance, please go to my YouTube page. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. It does help the algorithm. We're, like I said, just starting back up. So if you get a chance, please go in there. If you would like to come on the show today and get some venting out, I will add the invite into the chat so that if anybody wants to come on, you can. I just added it just now. So just feel free to click on that, and that would get you to me, and then I can get you on. You can have your camera on and off. It really doesn't matter. We just want to hear your opinion, hear what you got to say, and hear what you think about what's going on. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today was just some things that's really important to us, some things that's going on in the community that we probably don't even really fully understand what's going on. We fully don't understand all of the things that could be possibly going on with our country, what's going on with this administration, what they're doing. For instance, this past week, they just shut down the Department of Education, which is a very, very, very vital department to, honestly, the entire country. A lot of people don't realize that it is, but it really is. So that's going to be our first topic. We're going to talk about the impacts of closing the Department of Education, how it affects minority, low-income communities, and people with disabilities. And disabilities isn't just physical disabilities. It's also, stuff like dyslexia. Is also it's a wide range of disabilities that's out there that the Department of Education helps. So the first thing we want to do before we get started is watch a quick video on it and go from there.
In the halls of this New Jersey high school, echoes of uncertainty.
When you heard about the promise, dismantle the Department of Education, or at least reduce it in the name of efficiency, did that sound like a good idea to you, or were you concerned?
Very concerned. Very concerned.
Superintendent of Englewood Public Schools, Dr. Marnie Hazelton, walking us through the places where her students, faculty, and staff would feel any potential cuts first.
So we'll go in here. Are you anticipating impacts right away in the classroom?
Absolutely. We've already gone through the first wave of cuts a few weeks ago. Our funding for reimbursement for Medicaid, which is part of our IDEA, we saw that reduced from $280,000 down to $28,000.
A 90% cut in that money right away.
Absolutely, yes.
In the middle of the school year.
Yes, the services provided through Medicaid would went to support our most fragile students, providing occupational therapy, mental health services, physical therapy.
President Trump has said he wants to shift control of education to the states. In 2021, right around 11% of school funding came from federal sources, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. The other almost 90% from state and local avenues. But Dr. Hazelton says every dollar in her district's budget is critical.
For every $100,000 in funding that you lose, what does that mean for a teacher or staff?
For every $100,000 that we lose, that is the equivalent of one teacher, one full-time teacher, including their benefits.
Another fear, the possibility the school could lose reimbursements for free meals that roughly 80% of their students qualify for.
For some of our most fragile students,
I'll follow
this is the only place where they get a hot, nutritious breakfast and lunch. We were so concerned that we partnered with our local grocery store to open a food pantry. We have a food pantry here where we distribute meals once every 2 weeks.
Hearing that the USDA recently just cut $1 billion of assistance for schools nationwide in terms of accessing fresh food from farmers and other sources, $1 billion. Does that give you pause for thought?
Absolutely. If children are hungry, they cannot learn. And if we are going to rely on highly processed food versus fresh fruits and vegetables, that is alarming.
Dr. Hazelton says she may need to make the difficult decision to cut sports and arts programs, which she says are the reasons many students look forward to coming to school.
What do you think the impact on the arts could be from these cuts?
Well, the first priority is always staffing classrooms. The priority is English, language arts, and math and science. So we would start to look at programs, our after-school programs, which include the arts.
A nearly impossible conundrum for school administrators, balancing basic services and those that can shape an entire high school experience.
Some of the students featured in the play, I didn't even realize they were musically inclined until they shared with me, I'm going to be in the musical. I didn't know you were into musicals. And you have to provide students that outlet and the opportunity.
Sam Brock joins us tonight from Englewood, New Jersey. So, Sam, do we know the total amount in dollars we're talking about here that could be cut? And what are you hearing about how that will already impact them for next year?
Yeah, we do right now. Certainly the amount of money that could be cut, Tom, and to give you just a sense of the financial tightrope that school districts like Englewood are walking right now. Englewood's budget for the entire year is $81 million. Then there's an additional $10 or $11 million of federal supplements, which is to say about 11 or 12% of the total financial picture is coming from the federal government. Now, here's the toughest part. We already mentioned in that piece that Medicaid reimbursements for this school year have already been removed by the administration, according to the superintendent. Well, right now, Tom, they're trying to plan their 25-26 budget, which the preliminary report on that is due in a matter of weeks. And Englewood basically doesn't know whether or not they're going to be getting a good chunk of this $10 million that's still on the table from the federal government. That is just a huge open-ended question. And the hardest part about that funding is heavily weighted towards special needs students and low-income students. And of course, as we lined out, there is a trickle-down effect as well, because once that money is taken away, if it is, it could affect things like sports and the arts as well. So just a potentially very difficult situation for school administrators.
Yeah. And then, the Department of Education, it has various functions in the way they interact with public schools. You've mentioned some of them. We know one of them is also anti-discrimination laws and sort of protocols in schools. Do we know what happens there? Does that department go away?
The DOE is responsible for enforcing anti-discrimination laws. So when I asked the superintendent that very question, her face went blank for a second then, and you could see the distress in her eyes, frankly, because what she said was, we don't know. There has been no guidance provided so far from the federal government as to where we're supposed to go if suddenly this entity, if DOE, just disappears tomorrow. She said they would be talking to their HR departments and continuing to handle things internally as they normally would. But from a federal level and federal action, they have absolutely no idea, Tom.
All right, Sam Brock for us getting the story there. Sam, we appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking.
I think that's what bothers me the most about all of this stuff is just the fact that we don't have like they're taking so much away from other people. taking away from people, the most vulnerable of us all. You know, we have so many people that need the Department of Education, that need the money for food, that needs the money for that needs the money to take care of their families, you know, and for education and for other stuff. We got a couple of people that came on that's ready to talk. Hopefully I can you guys can hear me. Holly and Keelan, are you guys there at all?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So welcome. First of all, thank y'all for joining the show. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
So that was the first video that we looked at so far. And like I said, right now we're just talking about education. And I'm gonna just give you guys the floor. Holly, you got on first. How do you feel about this story that we just seen?
I think you pretty much said it. I don't know why I have a big echo. But I think you pretty much said it. The cuts and things of that nature are affecting the most vulnerable in our community. Whether it be people losing their jobs, people think the federal government, their employees are lazy and do X, Y, Z. And I think everybody or anybody on this call that has, I gotta figure this echo out. Hold on, because it's bothering me. Better. I think that. Nope, I still got it. But anyway,
we don't hear it at all. We don't hear the echo at all.
I hear it bad. But I think
oh, you can?
Anyone who has served in the military or works for the government, there is a way. There's absolutely a lot of ways. There's a way to go, and I think this is said. He has been in office that the way in which him and his jump drawer, not a cabinet, that's a great jump drawer, is going about doing this not inhumane. And it's like without regard to human beings and what they face every day with their job at the drop of a dime without any notification.
Any notification. I mean, people have bills. People is most people live check to check. That's just a fact. And for someone, and I mean, to be honest, the federal government is one of those jobs where you don't get fired. You don't lose your job at a drop of a dime. You just don't. You can lose your job for poor performance and stuff like that, but you don't lose it for a drop of a dime. I guess some people say there is a bad echo. Let me see what I can do here. All right, does that sound any better? I don't know. I'm not sure.
You don't have an echo.
Yeah, I was getting an echo from Holly.
Yeah, okay, I don't anymore.
No.
So yeah, whatever you did, that fixed it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to take it off when we watch the videos, but for now we can have it on. Keelan, what do you think about the video and just overall what's going on right now? Like I said, this is the comfort couch. We're just here to talk and get some things off our chest.
Yeah, and I missed the video, but overall, as I look at it, I know I know how it's going, right? And I know that the funding, we need the funding for just even our schools, and we don't have that for our schools already. So that's going to knock us down a lot more. Mm-hmm. When I say our schools, I mean schools that are more or less in the Black community, a little more underprivileged, a little more underfunded already. So with them going the way they're going now, especially using that funding in other places, or even giving them more affluent the ability to use the funding for education, I think that's going to, I know that's going to affect the lower levels. So clawing our way to the top, we're going to have to claw our way even harder just to get just to get an adequate education, and not just above adequate, but an actual adequate education. And that's kind of where I'm at. I think right now, I think it's reckless. In a few months, and I honestly just think it's reckless right now, but that's where we are.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. Like Holly said, there is some waste in the system. I don't think it's much fraud. Every time they mention the word fraud, I just ask who's been arrested. Because if you're stealing billions of dollars from the government, there is no way in the world nobody will be arrested for stealing billions of dollars in the government. So there's not fraud that we're talking about. We're talking about efficiency. Could we do things better? But there's ways of going about to do it. Just saying we're just going to fire everyone as a probationary employee is absolutely ridiculous. That's not going to fix the situation at all. that's just going to make things worse, especially when it comes to stuff like the VA, comes to stuff like Department of Education. Like it has to be used with the scalpel. You can't just say we're going to just get rid of people for the sake of getting rid of people. That's not fixing anything. And then like Holly said, you're not taking into account people's lives and give people time to adjust and get ready for being unemployed or laid off. You know, and that's the part to me that kills me, is the callousness of it all. You know, and but that's really what people that voted for Trump voted for. They wanted the callousness. They just didn't think that it would affect them.
You're absolutely right. And I think the biggest problem is going to cut. Well, I ain't gonna say problem, but the biggest thing that's going to cut from that is going to be you're going to have the market is going to be flooded for those that have been job hunting. You're going to have a whole bunch of qualified people or overqualified people coming in and taking or getting those jobs that at one point were gainfully employed and say had tenure, you know. So that's going to be a huge deal, especially if you have 10, 15,000 people just in general, say 1,000 in Dallas alone or 2,000 in Dallas alone with the same skill sets. And they're having to find a job ASAP. It's going to be different, man. It's the market is going to be crazy, to be honest with you, especially the job market right now. And I'm actively hunting, so I have to take in consideration that the job I'm qualified for somebody else has 20 years experience and been doing it for the government, so there's a level of experience they have that I may not have, and I have to prepare for it. My job journey may take a lot longer than it has been. Yeah,
absolutely, because especially if you're working for the government, you may be servicing thousands of people, because the government is so wide and so vast that person could be, can depend on their resume and not be lying about it, that they service thousands of people for the IT department, So, I mean, that's huge. I wanted to also share just some things about the education department too, just some of the things that they do that we may not even realize. Like I said, we talked about disability somewhat a little bit earlier, but like I said, they do stuff with disabilities. You have bringing it back to the states will reduce federal protections and support. The idea, that's what she was talking about earlier with Medicaid, that a lot of stuff from therapy for kids, occupational therapy for kids, like I said, dyslexia. I could say that touched me personally because my 3 boys had dyslexia, so I know how important it is to have the 504 plan in place and stuff like that. Pell Grants, we all know. I think we all that's been on this phone right here. I mean, that's been on this podcast right now have received Pell Grants. I didn't actually, I wound up going in the Navy before I actually started school, but I applied and got it. It helps millions of minorities to go to school. It helped millions of low-income people go to school. And that's going to be affected. I'm not gonna say possibly, it will be affected. And those are just some of the small some of the big things that we're going to have that's going to affect the things. I wanted to move on to go ahead. You gotta say, Holly?
No, I'm just, even deeper than that with the job loss and everything, but I'm just trying to figure out, and maybe somebody on this call can answer, what is the end result they're looking for? That's the thing I don't quite get. They're saying they're trying to cut money, but any newscast that you watch, what they're cutting is not even putting a dent in what they say they're trying to do, as far as these billions of dollars they've found in waste, and then you have somebody else fact checking, and that's not the case. I'm just trying to figure out, why are they getting rid of entire departments that have been around for centuries?
It's simple. They want to balance as much as they can, cut as much as they can to support them doing a $4 trillion tax cut for the rich. It's that simple. It really is that simple. And by cutting, they're still going to have a deficit by doing the tax cuts, but they can at least say they cut into it. Like, they're going to literally take 800 right now. They're on track to take $880 billion from Medicaid.
Right.
That, I mean, the pennies that they're getting from cutting us is nothing. They got to cut so much just to get to $1 to $2 trillion that they of quote unquote savings to give to the rich people. I mean, and it's that simple. That's why they're doing it. They can say all they want, it needs to be done, this, that, and the other. It's one thing to do it and then say, Now we're really going to balance the budget. We're not, because tax cuts is no difference than spending. It's just another way of spending. Giving people money back is no different than using that money towards something else.
Sure.
You know, because when they talk about, it's no different than what you got to do in your own household. You got to tighten your belt and yada yada yada. If I have a deficit in my house on between bills and income, there's two things I can do. I can cut down on my bills, or I can make more money. I don't cut down on my bills and make less money and say, oh, yeah, that worked. And that's what they're trying to. That's exactly what they're going to do. That's what they want to do. Is cut
And
down
they
on their
keep
bills
denying that,
and take
you know.
less money. They can try to deny, but that's what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it just is mind-boggling that people are still supporting this party even after. I can understand people make mistakes. Okay, you voted, you expected this, that, and the other. You know, okay, needed something different. Da 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 da. But once just the man himself, take the politics out of it. Just his core person, the root of who he is appalling.
Yes.
That's appalling.
Yes. Which has led me to, like I said, the next subject I wanted to talk about.
Belabor that.
It's all good. Like I said, we're here on the casting couch. I mean, on the not casting couch, on the comfort couch. So let's talk about it. The next section I wanted to talk about is actually, I'm calling it the "You Played Yourself" part of the show, because I'm going to show we're going to talk about people, the cruelty is going to hurt them. So here's the first video that I have lined up. And hold on one second. Woo! Can anybody hear it?
Yes. Yeah.
No kings, no tyrants, no kings, no tyrants. Well, when we found out that President Trump was running for president again this term, we immediately went out and bought a flag, because we are huge Trump supporters. Questioning what's happening right now, obviously. Individuals started receiving notice on Monday that they were going to have an appointment for termination on Wednesday. Tuesday morning comes, and we were informed that, hey, if you didn't get the email on Monday, you're safe. And I'm like skipping down the halls, right? Like, I get to stay. And Wednesday, late afternoon, I received a notice that I have an appointment, a Teams appointment with my supervisor on Friday at 9:00. So I knew that I wasn't safe anymore. Oh my gosh, yeah, Nathan, that's like the hardest part for me, honestly, because I'm a wonderful worker. Any job that I've ever had, I feel like you should do everything unto the Lord, and I do. And to be sitting here today and know that follows me, that I was fired for performance-based in any manner. I have wonderful reviews every year of my employment. I literally just had my last review in January, and it was outstanding. When you lose an income, it's painful. We've had conversations about what our future looks like. We have, as you can tell, we have a small home. But my husband and I have said, if we need to downsize and get a, 1-bedroom home or even a 1-bedroom apartment, we'll do whatever we have to do. But it's hard. It's wrecking. The common theme is, we voted for this, and our friends that didn't vote the same, there's always that back and forth conversation now. It's like, you knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives, but other people that we love and care about too within the Mid-Ohio Valley. Cutting costs and waste and fraud, and we love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, we were excited about that because it is true. But again, I can't help but go back to the fact that what is the decisions that you're making right now solving in the big picture? It just so the concept of voting for that again, voting for Elon Musk essentially to wreck people's lives, I can't do it. You know, we see the effects of what a decision like this can do, you know, the relapse that can take place, the lack of trust. I mean, if you can't trust your president and your vice president to do what they said they were going to do, you know, which is protect us, protect the veterans, love the veterans, support them, then it leaves you in a really ugly place in your thinking. People are afraid to go and open their email. Like one email, one instance can change the trajectory of your entire life.
Right.
And it's, in my opinion, it's abuse. It's emotional abuse. Yeah, absolutely. I feel a little bit betrayed. And to be honest, I don't know like what I would do if we knew what we know today and the vote was tomorrow. I don't know what I would do because of my morals, but I just don't think I could do it again. I don't think I could vote for President Trump again, knowing that this has happened and the impact it's had on the American working class.
All right, I'm just going to stop it right there because the fact that she's indecisive says so much to me. What do y'all think about that?
I think the fact that she said, "Can you do whatever you did to take away?"
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am right now. Sorry.
Okay. I think the fact that she said the morals she had.
So
that came into question. That's the first thing, your morals. How can you have these godly morals and values and know everything this man has done, proven without a fact, and say that you don't know if you would vote for him again? So where are your morals at? What are they? And I know people have different values. What are, based on what she said, that she's contradicting herself.
Absolutely. It makes no sense. Like you can't say morals and then say Donald Trump in the same sentence. It just doesn't go together. They don't go together. They just don't.
Well, they have and not to interject. A lot of people that support Trump have a delusional way. Like I remember talking to an older couple. They've since passed away, but they voted for him the first time, right? And they felt like Donald Trump would make everybody rich. And I couldn't understand how they saw that. And this was the first election that he was in. And that didn't make sense to me, but it, for whatever reason, made plenty of sense to them. But then also they lost a lot of money in that first term. But for whatever reason, there's a delusion that he's going to make everything better because he's a businessman and they want a businessman to do something, and they don't take into account that all the things he's done as a businessman, which haven't been great, you know, but in a lot of people's mind, especially as big as staunch supporters, they'll, you know, it's no way to, they can't tell you facts, but then it's also hard for them to, you know, it's almost a deflection. Every time you talk, it's a deflection. Okay, well, here goes 6 facts. Well, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did this, and so-and-so did this. And everybody's fallible, right? So it's going to happen. But I'm giving you 6 facts on, say, government or whatever, or even history, how history looks. But there's always that moment that a lot of his biggest supporters, they'll make up something about people having stuff on laptops, like they know these people's laptops. You know, it's crazy. So I don't get it, but they have this buy-in. They have their buy-in for some reason.
I think a part of the reason is the other. It's let's be real here. It's white supremacy. I truly do believe that is a part of it, whether it's conscious or subconscious, to be honest with you. Because like I said, they were okay with the cruelty. She was okay with the cruelty. She was okay with getting the others out of here, the Haitians, the Mexicans, the Venezuelans, or getting all them people out of there. And as long as I'm okay, you know, take care of me, take what we want and what I need. You know, she was perfectly fine with it. She was perfectly fine with getting rid of waste and abuse that she thought wouldn't touch her. She's totally fine with it. You know, so, but now, go ahead.
No, yeah, what she said, she was skipping down the hall like, I'm good. What about your coworker that's sitting over here with 3 kids and a single income? I mean, good Lord.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we got a couple more guests onto the show. We got James and we got Ronnie.
What up, though?
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So how do you I'll start with James, you just came in first. How do you feel about what so far the pod and just the videos we just been watching? Just go ahead, go for it. You're on the couch.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to point out, right, is when you're dealing with politics is tribal, right? Meaning that, if you're a Republican, you're going to go for that side regardless because you believe they align, with your values. If you're a Democrat, you align this way because you believe, it aligns with your values no matter what. But what she's saying is basically, to your point, Bobby, is that DEI was good as long as until she realized DEI was for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't realize that. She just thought it was going to be people of color or a certain group. And it's just not the fact, right? So it happens to her. Now she's all, wait a minute, that's not supposed to happen to me, and that's where the privilege starts kicking in, just like with the farmers out here too, hey, we want everybody gone, but not everybody gone. Y'all sitting there and ain't nobody to pick the crops.
Yep.
And your contracts are gone too.
Yep.
So so you got all this domino effect, and don't even get started on the economy of the local areas. Virginia, Nebraska, where you have all these employees that work for these federal agencies that now can't go to your store. They're going to be empty buildings. So it does impact them. But again, as long as it don't affect me, I'm good. That's the mentality. That is that their supporters have.
Yeah,
so that's pretty much where it's coming from.
I'm gonna say that the country is selfish. Half the country for sure is selfish. It's just that's just a fact, because when I looked at everything happening in the country and the choices between the two, clearly, like it's like when you go to values and like you said, tribal, and I do believe in giving back. I do believe that the policies of helping people get on their feet, not Medicare. Medicare is more a Social Security thing, but Medicaid, helping people, unemployment, helping people get to where they need to get to, Pell Grants. Those things are needed because we are an unequal society, and the only way to get equal is really the biggest way is through education, and taking away the Pell Grants is just absolutely going to kill that. It's so much. Ronnie, what you got to say, man?
What's going on? Let's go back. I'm gonna go back real quick to the education department that got shut down. One, if you keep the society dumb, then they'll basically follow whatever you want. Two, they found out that the actual educational department is actually helping Black people and minorities, because if you see where we are back then to where we are now, we just accelerating our education, and we're accelerating our knowledge, and now we're starting to ask too many questions. So they're gonna shut all that down, throw it back down to the states, and states gonna do whatever the heck they want to do. Back like when they were doing like before the 1954 court case came about, right? So that's what they're doing.
Brown versus Board of Education.
Yep. And it's a thing that they always do stuff, and this is everybody kind of does this. Is look over here, look at all the crazy stuff we're doing here, while people are not really paying attention to what they're really up to. Does that make sense?
Right.
So a lot of times people they'll follow the big carrot, not really understanding that all these little bitty carrots are going to be way worse than that one big carrot, right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And then going back to the other part, which we were talking about, what was it again?
It was the federal worker who
the girl, so
because of her morals, she still don't know if she could vote for somebody else.
So right, that goes back to that education part of it, right? Where if you think about it, the United States as a whole is on a 6th grade reading level. So if you look at holistically, right? So if you put things in a position where, especially people like herself, right, it doesn't affect me. We all do that. We can't really say that she's guilty to do stuff. It's just in this particular situation, we kind of like, you're stupid, but we've all done it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that we're ignorant. It's just we don't see that that's hurting us. We like, shoot, it's hurting them. I'm cool. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so,
I understand. I agree. I agree.
And in her case, in my opinion, in her case, her perspective is her perspective. How she looks at it is like, hey, I'm cool. Now all of a sudden, oh, I got slapped in the face too. Now I want to get into the fight. Well, you should have gotten to the fight in the beginning. So now the people that were already in the fight, kind of like us, yeah, we don't want you in the fight now. We already fighting. You feel what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of they kind of get put in that middle part of it. And what's I think, in my opinion, what's really going to happen is like those the kind of people that need to get slapped in the face. You know what I'm saying? That's the people that get slapped, because those are the people that's going to really be behind a lot of stuff. They're going to be like, wait a minute, I got fired and I followed you to this. Yeah. Listen, that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's why everybody say, let us sit back, watch them do what they do, and enjoy the freaking show, because this is what they want. This is what they wanted. This is what they wanted. Listen, what you ask for is what you get. And my grandmother always told me, she said, a hard head make a what?
Soft behind.
A soft tail, right? So this is what them right now. They had that hard line, like, oh, this guy he does everything right. This dude is a fucking idiot. Excuse my language. He's an idiot, right? He is a freaking stone cold idiot who looks out for himself. And that's the bigger part. Those cats just want to make money. They don't care about who it affects at all, as long as the bottom line is black and not red in their books. That's how they looking at it, bro. They just stealing money, in my opinion.
I agree. Anybody else want to jump onto that?
Yeah, I got one more final thought too, before y'all, move on or whatever. That I think the bigger picture here is like we're getting into like the I guess falling over dollars, trying to chase the shiny thing at dimes. What's happening is that it's 2020-35. Let me guys sum it up. 2020-30 and 2035, white folks are expected to be the minority. That's just the bottom line, right? So what are they doing right now? The first thing you want to do is take away their access to education. You look around today, you see how we come up today, and where we are today, living in nice homes and things of that nature. There are people who don't really want to see that. Not all people, but there are real people who don't want to see us get ahead, right? And then you have the wealth gap. The rich is getting richer, right? And the middle class, they're pretty much non-existent. So at the end of the day, I believe that this is going on, and you take a look at the racial makeup of the current administration, is that they know like 2035, that's why I got rid of everybody. They're going to be the minority, right? You got Obama coming in, and they didn't like that too much, right? So like, nah, we can't have this. So now, here it goes. So I think that, in my own opinion, that that's what's really going on.
Yeah. Yep. I absolutely agree. I can equate it to excuse me. Before the election, we kept telling them, you don't want this dude. You don't want him, for democracy. You don't want him for what he would do to the economy. You don't want the tariffs. You don't want the racism, the allowing them to, allowing people to be more racist, to be more open with their racism. We don't need that. We don't want that. But I think as a country, we had to let the country touch the stove, because you can say all you want to your kid, hey, you don't want to touch that hot stove, you don't want to touch that hot stove, and it's going to come a point in time where you're going to turn your back, and guess what, he's going to touch that stove, and then that's when he's going to learn. He's not going to learn when you keep telling him don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. Or he may have touched it before, because honestly, he was already in office for 4 years. This is just as chaotic as it was during COVID and his whole presidency, really, but really COVID. I think COVID is the reason why he lost the last time. And for people to forget that, to forget the chaos, forget him saying drink bleach, that'll work. To forget all of the people that died from his mismanagement before, it's astonishing. Anybody else got anything to say before I move on? Because we're still in you played yourself. I got someone you played yourself. So that was just a veteran federal worker who played herself. I got some more you played yourselves. So anybody else got anything?
I just think as a whole, those that voted for him, for some reason, they thought that he was going to be able to go around them to get to us. And now we are all in the dragnet. Every single, unless you in that top 1% billionaire status, you in the dragnet. And now everybody is in the FO part of FAFO, period.
Yep.
I agree 100%. She is 100% right. Like I was saying earlier, they don't care about any of that. They don't care about any of that. They just want a black line and not a red one. They don't care about who it affects. They don't care about white people, black people. They don't care. That's how freaking oligarchs are. They don't care about you. They want their money, their bread.
That's
it.
Yep. That being said, Holly, you really did a great segue to this next one with the dragnet. So let's take a look at it.
The man I spoke with is a U.S. citizen. He provided us with documentation of his legal status. He says this experience has shaken his faith in the immigration enforcement efforts of President Donald Trump, for whom he voted, he says. This is what Yenzi Machado managed to record on his phone Wednesday. He says while he was driving to work with two other men, he was stopped by ICE agents on Lamont Drive in Manassas, a short distance from his home. He says he was confused by what was happening, why agents surrounded the pickup truck. He spoke with our sister station Telemundo 44 reporter Rosbelis Quinones, who was the first to report his story.
And they just got out of the car with the guns in the hands and say, hey, turn off the car, give me the keys, open the window. And, everything was really fast.
Machado says the agents said the name of a man they were seeking for a deportation order, someone who had given Machado's home address. He said that was not his name. He did not know anyone by that name. He offered to show them this, his real ID compliant Virginia driver's license. It has a star in the upper right corner and requires proof of lawful status.
They didn't ask me for any ID. I was telling the officer if I can give him the ID, but he said that just keep my hands up, moving. And then after that, he told me to get out of the car, and then he put the handcuffs on me. And then he went to me and said, how did I get into this country? And if I was waiting for court or if I have any case. And I told him I was an American citizen. And he looked at his other partner like, smiling, like saying, can you believe this guy? Because he asked the other guy, do you believe him?
Machado said he was uncuffed and immediately released after showing his driver's license. The two men with him were taken into custody. He does not know why. The incident has caused him to reflect.
Because, like I say, I was Trump supporter. I voted for Trump last elections, but because I thought it was going to be the things, like be pointless, like just go against criminals, not every illegal Hispanic looking like that they will assume we are illegals.
So, do you think that's what they're doing now?
That's what they're doing now. They're just following Hispanic people looking like.
Immigration lawyers suggest that resident and citizens carry ID with them at all times. In Manassas, Jackie Benson, News 4.
I'm just let y'all go ahead.
Boy, I had to come straight off the mute on that one.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it. Go for it.
You know what the thing is, and he did play himself. But here's my problem with that, Ship, is unless you are a native, indigenous American, we all immigrants in this land, every single one of us. And I think what makes me so upset is the Caucasian walks around this country like it really belongs to them. They stole it.
Absolutely.
Just like they stole every doggone thing out and built it on the backs of those Hispanic people, us Black folks, built this country, and then they walk around and try to treat us like second-class citizens. I work for USDA, and one of the programs that we run is for one of the Native American is called food distribution on the Indian reservations, right? So when he first got in office, we had some of our constituents reaching out to us saying that ICE was on the reservation, asking them for proof of citizenship. When I tell you I blew my top, like how in the world are you even on the reservation with Native Americans asking them for proof of citizenship? This is their freaking land.
Yeah.
This has gotten ridiculous. And it's the same when he was in last time. People are walking around like they are bigger than crap and they can do whatever they want to do and harassing whom, if you don't look like them, blonde hair, blue eyed, then you are subject to be harassed. And the big thing is, if there's something that goes on and Trump you're in support of Trump with something, you could very well get off. When they was talking about now, they even looking at pardoning the cop that killed George Foreman.
Social, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Yeah. Chavez, whatever his name is. This has gotten completely out of control, and it's to the point where I get really passionate about this because it really makes me mad. But then you sit back and you're like, what do you do? But that's just what I had to get that off immediately, because how in the world was he voting for Trump to begin with?
To begin with, it's no
He's
different
been building
than
a wall since he been living.
So he been demeaning Hispanics since the beginning. It's no different than a black person voting for him when he says that he's okay with stop and frisk. He wants to bring stop and frisk back, and a black man saying, "Well, I don't steal. I'm no criminal. They're not going to stop me." It's absolutely no different.
That is exactly right. There's no difference. There's no
How can
difference.
you clutch your pearls when the cops stop you and pull you out your car and frisk you when you said you cool with it? Oh, not you. You the good black.
And then they're quick to say, well, he gave us checks. If you could find me 50 people that got that stimulus check, I didn't get one, but anyway,
Neither
50
did
people
I.
that got that stimulus check. And then you can find me 50 people that tell me where that money is today, I'll give you $1,000.
I tell you where it went.
Tell me, show me.
They went to PPP. Them PPP lounge. I'm messing with you.
No. I'm saying materialize where it actually they used it to work for them, where they may have invested it or something like that. That money went to straight in the ground, and they couldn't even tell you where it's at. I can guarantee you can't find 50 people to tell you where that money is today.
And that in and of itself is ignorance, because Biden gave more money during the stimulus checks than Trump did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just a fact. Biden gave more money than Trump did during the stimulus. But people want to say Trump gave them money as if Biden didn't do anything, you know? Mm-hmm. So like it's so much ignorance out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Keelan, go ahead, man.
And the thing with the Hispanic vote, especially this past election, is that one, it was really, really hard for them to see a black woman in office. And even with her record, we understood that, you know, if there was two poisons, she was going to be the better of the two, right? But it was hard for them as a culture to see that black woman in office, even as they didn't have a lot of people politically that high yet, right? Mm-hmm. Although that would be a natural progression, honestly. If they voted in, okay, the next step is the Hispanic president. The next step is this, because it becomes it'll start working its way like that. Yeah. But because they didn't see that, they voted almost out of spite. But then, as everything starts to happen, like say they're getting deported or harassed, pretty much like we would get harassed on the street going to the store. They're getting harassed daily also, and they're not used to experiencing that because, you know, you could pull up it for the undocumented. You could pull up at Home Depot, and they could sit out there, you know, and you can get a couple of people to work, and they can make $100, and everybody's happy. You get your stuff done. Now they're not out there because they know that's exactly where ICE is going. But once again, it's the cut off the nose and spite the face type thing. Yeah. And they thought that Trump was going to help them at some point, somehow. And I have no clue how Trump is going to help us. Or, you know, even I stay in Trinity Grove now. So, like, I'm right across the bridge from the protest. You know, and they're protesting probably once every 2 weeks. There's a nice sized protest on the bridge, as far as, you know, because this side of town is Hispanic. Well, this time where I'm at, there's a large Hispanic community. But on the other side of it, I don't have the same, I say the same compassion, or I don't have not compassion. That's a story. I don't have the desire to help because I saw it. So I'm like, okay, well, this is you literally half the people out there voted for Trump, and then now your families are being deported or being harassed, or, you know, it's hard to make an honest living now, and you have to leave the fields. And so it's like, it's hard. It's the I told you so. Well, we told you. Whether you want to believe us or not, for whatever reason, you thought the black people were liars. We're not. We just saw it. We've experienced it way more than probably any other culture, that we know that, sure, we got to buckle down for the next 4 years. You know, that's how we kind of move. We see it and we buckle down. Okay, well, we're gonna have to stop these expenses. But they were delusional in their thinking process, and also they just didn't want to see one of us again in office, regardless if we were beneficial or not.
So
My opinion.
And I'm gonna say it again. That's another form of, to me, again, white supremacy in the fact that there are people that think I am better than these other people. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm better than them. So it's a form of supremacy. Like I'm better than them, so it's not going to affect me. It's not going to bother me. Yeah, they just going to get these people out. It's I think it was Lyndon Johnson that said back in the 60s, you can get the poorest person to vote for you if they think that the ninja is underneath them. You know what I mean? If you prove that the ninja is underneath them, they'll vote for you all day.
Yeah, that was Lyndon B. Johnson. You're absolutely right.
So that's part of that's a lot of the problem. This next one I'm gonna play for you is really astonishing to me, because have y'all heard the saying of calling Joe Biden Genocide Joe when he was in office by the Palestinian people? I haven't heard that.
No, I haven't heard that one.
Oh yeah, they used to call him Genocide Joe because he didn't stop the war between Israel and Gaza. That he took too long for this, that, and the other, and they voted for Trump. And yeah, so that's the next one on they played themselves, because now, as you know, Trump wants to take over and make it beachfront property. So
yeah, real.
President Trump doubling down on his plan to own the Gaza Strip during a press conference alongside Jordan's King Abdullah.
We're not going to buy anything. We're going to have it, and we're going to keep it, and we're going to make sure that there's going to be peace.
And when asked about whether the president's Arab supporters would be happy with his decision to occupy Gaza, Trump responded, citing his support in Michigan during the election.
Well, if you look at Michigan, where we have a larger population, as you know, I was just telling the king that we won. As you know, I won the Arab population.
And he's right, he did. In Dearborn, Trump edged out Kamala Harris by 2,500 votes. So we reached out to some Arab voters who either cast their ballot for the president or for a third party, which is also seen as a vote for Trump. Sam Fawaz, a Lebanese American in Michigan, campaigned for Trump and does not regret his vote, in spite of Trump's claims to take over Gaza.
Everything is transactional to him. That's what he's known for. If anything he's proven is he doesn't like to see the killing and death and destruction of innocent civilians. That's become, it should be obviously clear to everyone. I always tell family and friends that voted for him recently, I tell them to give me an alternative to President Trump. Would have been a continuation of the Biden administration through Vice President Harris. I don't think the bloodshed would have stopped, and I don't think the death and destruction would have abated. And I think the long-term goal of the region would have been on the same track.
Samra Luchman, who's also an Arab American voter, cast her ballot for Trump, and she stands by it.
We have a ceasefire. I stand by my vote. We have gotten a pause in the killing of the people, and that's paramount to me.
But she's not happy with Trump's rhetoric and taking over Gaza.
I'm angered by them, and I'm also fearful for the people there. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, we have seen a march of return. We've seen Palestinians be able to go back to Gaza. That would not have happened had we had Biden or Harris still in office.
We also caught up with an Arab Michigan voter who voted for Jill Stein. We interviewed Farah Khan before the election. She told us she was voting third party. Here's what she told us back in August after Harris's speech at the DNC.
You are bombing our families with our money, and just one good speech is going to win us over again? I don't think so.
She took a risk and does not regret it, even though she is deeply upset with Trump's rhetoric, but says she plans to organize against Trump the way she organized against Harris if he goes forward with his plan to occupy Gaza.
We are not going anywhere. They have seen what we did to Harris administration. We are going to organize as powerfully as we did for the Harris administration. If they don't choose, if they don't change their path, if they're going to go down that path, then we are not going anywhere.
We did speak to a few other Arab American voters as well, who voted for the president and say they now regret their vote, but were unwilling to say it on camera. A reflection of the power of the vote. Yasmin Vasugian, NBC News.
Thoughts?
Can I go on this first?
Go ahead.
So I grew up in Detroit, right? In Detroit, and I grew up around all of Arab folk. Them people are white people. They don't look at black people as black. They think they're above us. So they were considered white. I don't care what Arab or what nationality you want to call it. They are white people. Period. Right. The other thing about that is Biden actually got the ceasefire.
Yep.
Before he got out of office. Again, this is more what the Democrats didn't do. Is they didn't educate enough voters enough to say, hey, this is what we've done, this is what we're doing. And that's what the bigger part of it was. So if you're not saying what you've done right, all I gotta do is say what you're doing wrong, and you're not rebutting that, then all the thing they're gonna hear is everything that you've done wrong in their eyes. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So the whole thing for them or for anybody is, and with buyer's remorse, and we've all had buyer's remorse, but this is a whole different level. He's never going to be able to go take over some Gaza Strip type stuff. Don't ever think about that stuff, because how you going to do that? You're going to put troops out there? It's never going to happen.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. I agree with you there, but the fact that he can even say that is ridiculous.
That's just a red. I don't even care what that man says, right? Because if you think about it, a lot of the stuff that he did say, it didn't come true, right? He says all kind of stupid stuff, and people hang on what he says. Ignore what he says and look at what he's doing, right? Because he's going to say stuff that's going to be off the wall, stupid. Oh, we're going to take over Greenland. Canada's going to be the 51st state. We're going to take over the Panama Canal. Blah 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 blah. You going to do all that in 4 years? Good luck. That ain't going to happen, right? So people stick on this stuff because they think, oh, it's going to happen. No, it's not, right? What I think what it is that they, again, like I was talking about earlier, is they making people look one way while they're doing things way on the other side that people aren't really paying attention to, right? And all you have to do is follow the money, right? As simple as you want to make it, right? That's why they made the 3 tiers of government, right? Because they knew they didn't want a king, right? And that's why they made them all equal. Like, you get a piece, you get a piece, you get a piece. But if you get a switch and you say, hey, come on my side, now you got 2/3, right? But they got all 3 branches, and he still ain't doing a lot of the stuff that he's doing, right? What do you think's gonna happen? Because Americans are American. Eventually people open their eyes and be like, you know what, this dude, hey, no, we ain't doing that stuff. Because we got a court system that don't allow those type of things, right? They like, oh, it's gonna go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court gonna give it to him anyway. No, they're not. They gotta follow the law, right? They
created a law. I gotta interject.
They've already denied a couple of his things already and said no.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So
that's true.
So that's the thing. That's the thing that people aren't really paying attention to, because they think, oh, he said it's gonna happen. No, it's not. It's a whole bunch of different things that needs to be taking place. What needs to be done? Sit back, watch the money. Period.
I think you have more faith in the judiciary than reality. For instance, did we a year ago, or maybe actually over a year ago now, a little over a year ago, would you think that the president would have immunity on anything he would do that's considered quote unquote official? I wouldn't think so.
They do it already. They've done it already.
Not to that point. They have immunity on certain things, but not blanket immunity like they did now, to the point where if it's quasi official, like if he's telling somebody to do something and then in their official capacity of duty, he's immune from it. So they made it to the point where as long as it's quote unquote official, he completely is immune from prosecution. So
that's why Bush ain't in jail now, bro. You can't go invade a country, you know what I'm saying, and just kill a whole bunch of people, get out, not nobody go to jail. Come on, man.
But that was Congress that also let him do that. But it's like I said, it's so like they have pushed back on him some, but I still think this is the loophole that you need to understand. So let's say you're correct. Let's say you're correct, and the Supreme Court says you can't, Mr. President, you can't do that. You can't stop. Let's go with the stop. You can't stop somebody that was born in this country from not being a United States citizen. They are by the Constitution, the birthright citizenship. You can't, unless you change the Constitution, they are a citizen of the United States. And he just says, I don't care. I'm not giving them Social Security cards. They're not getting birth certificates. They don't belong in this country. I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna ask you a question. How do you stop? How do you enforce that as the Supreme Court? All you got is words. So what you would do is call the marshals. You call the U.S. Marshals, right? Because that's who enforces the Supreme Court's rules or the Justice Department's rules when they got to arrest somebody for whatever thing, for what do you call it? Contempt of court and stuff like that, right? The U.S. Marshals is under the executive branch. And what if he tells the U.S. Marshals, you can't enforce that? I don't care if you do, if you cannot enforce that. Well, that's against the law, sir. I'll pardon you. There is no stopping him to pardon anybody for anything. He's already done it the last guardrails. He has no guardrails.
Zero guardrails.
So if the Supreme Court does what you said to say, yeah, you can't do that. You can't stop. Who will enforce their words?
And that's the scary part, Chip.
Who will enforce their words?
That's the scary part.
Who's going to enforce their words?
Can I respond?
That's the scary
part. Yes, sir. It's up to you. Go ahead.
Okay, so one that would cause a constitutional issue, right? So if the Supreme Court rules something, the president says, "Screw you, I'll do what I want," and they basically do it, then you don't have a government. You don't even have a democracy at this point, right? Right.
Yep.
So what that would cause is an uproar with the people. It's still the people are still in charge, bro. Don't ever get that twisted.
So we got to go to the streets,
right?
Is what you're saying.
You damn right it's gonna go to the streets. You think America? That's what's different about our country, right? That's what makes us different. Because eventually, if you look at what happened on January 6th, right? And this is just imagine this, right? A guy can just say something, not do something, just say it. Hey, come to the Capitol and fight for us, and that happens. Imagine when they start it's already happening, really. They're already taking away liberties. They're already firing people. They're already doing all this kind of crazy stuff to rile people up, right? You don't think that was the case, that you think that man would be still, nah, man, they'd burn that freaking place down, bro. And that would probably be the worst thing, because there's only 2 times you cannot get rid of a president. It's 2. A time of war and a time of an emergency.
All right.
And that's what they're trying to cause.
So and
that's what you got to pay attention to.
And do you remember last time that he wanted to shoot protesters in DC? Remember did you know that last time?
Yeah, but what happened?
It didn't happen because his general that he just took his
100%.
General Middle.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Those generals, those people that's in those places ain't allowed that stuff to happen.
He's replacing generals with the people that he wants to have. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the guardrails are going slowly but surely. They're going away. Now, granted, I wish everything that you're saying absolutely happens. That's what I hope happened. I want it to happen. I want him to be able to do his 4 years. He can fuck up the country as much as he fuck it up, and then he goes on about his business, and we fix it. It takes us years, but we fix it. That's what I want to happen. But what I know can happen is he's already been soft on the ground saying, the Supreme Court, why should some judges tell us what we can do with our executive authority? He's laying the groundwork.
Not only that, he's laying the groundwork for not ever having another election.
Yes.
He's trying to stay in there forever.
That ain't gonna happen. Y'all know that ain't gonna happen. Look, listen. That's the kind of thing that people got to really pay attention to. Again, that goes into what I was trying to say earlier. Is people. If you say, for instance, right? Say I'm the president, and I say, hey, go shoot that person, go shoot your mama in the face, right? Would you go shoot your mama in the face?
No, absolutely not.
Holly, would you go do it?
Absolutely not.
That's the point I'm trying to make. People ain't dumb. They ain't not just gonna blindly do just crazy ass shit. You can say what you want, but you still gonna need people to execute that.
Can I
mean?
Sure. I'm asking a simple question. In the history of civilization, let's go to the history of for the last 100 years. Has that happened? Has people done crazy shit in Germany and other countries too? Too.
No, that was a different world, bro. Information thing was completely different than it is now. You don't have information instantly. Back then, they could tell you anything, you would believe it. That's just how people. If I'm gonna go back even further.
Hold on. Myself, man. Go ahead. Keep going.
Let me tell you how easy it is to influence people, right? You guys remember what's the name of that motherfucking dude that used to do all this? Anyway, Vincent Price, right? He used to do basically an early podcast back in the 30s, right? It's called War of the Worlds. and he convinced a large majority of the country that we were being invaded by freaking aliens. People were freaking doing all kind of crazy stuff because of what he was saying. Now, you think that would happen now? You think he would be able to do the exact same thing now? Heck no. People are like, oh, look outside. Let me look on this ring camera that I group with these 2,000 people. He ain't getting invaded. Those type of things can't happen now. That kind of stuff is not going to happen. To a small majority, it may seem like a lot, but it's really not a lot of people. It's a small pocket of freaking true followers that are doing dumb shit.
He got 50% of the country to vote for him, and on top of that, and on top of that, you got to look at it too, like the ecosystem that they have now. Let's just say these segments are really writing themselves, because my next segment was on I watch it so you don't have to, because I wanted to show you. Everybody in the world think when the stock market goes down, we all think that's bad, right? When it goes down 10, 15%, that ain't good, you know? Yeah, it's going to bounce back up and go everything, but they are telling themselves something completely different. So
they're
if you
telling
don't
themselves to go out and buy.
Yeah. They're telling themselves something completely different. And I want to continue this organic discussion, because I got some videos to show you how they reacting to the stock market going down and what they're saying about the economy. They're making it seem like it's all good. Like this is perfect. This is what's supposed to happen. But we all know if this was Biden's administration, this was Carroll's administration, they'll be going ham right now on the fact that
for sure,
stock market went down 15% in 2 weeks. And then I'm gonna add to another point you said, Ronnie, because you said his words don't matter. All you got to do,
What I said was, it's not gonna be as effective as people think it was back in the day. Back in the day, it's not the same as it is today. People aren't going to be just influenced about what you say all the time. Not saying that some people won't. I'm not saying that. You have some super loyalist cats, stupid as hell. But if you start to realize what's happening, is a lot of those people are having that buyer's remorse. Now they're starting to go to these town hall meetings, and now these Republicans, if this already starting, like they already bucking at them. Like, you ain't about to come and tell us this dumb shit. What you said is some bull crap, right?
Yeah.
Why you think they're not going to these town halls anymore?
I agree.
Because those people are started like, hold up. What you said ain't what happening, bruh. So it's already effectively happening. But back in the day, that would have never happened, because they wouldn't have had the right information. You feel what I mean? And going back to the stock market,
I disagree with you. I think they have more wrong information now than we've ever had in the world. I absolutely agree.
I agree, 100%. 100%.
So we can't say that they don't have, they don't, back in the day they didn't have the right information. They got more wrong information now. The ecosystem that Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, all these podcasts, all these different things, they get nothing but bullshit fed to them 24/7, 7 days a week. Bullshit.
100% facts. But on the other hand,
and then when they go to church on Sunday, they get more bullshit fed to them.
100%. But on the other side of that is you have just as much or more information to say that is some bull crap, because now they fact check things now. They don't fact check things 40 years ago. They didn't even know what fact check meant, right? You can't just say what you want, because now it's like the computer automatically does, like, this is bull crap. They calling this crap out, man. They calling it out, again, but it's not as fast as people think it is.
Again, I think you are if you right now, Facebook got rid of their fact check. Then went to community notes. We ain't got to talk about X because Elon owns that. So they got rid of the fact checking as well. The places that people go to get their information, TikTok is not a fact check. How much misinformation is on there? Like, the news networks don't fact check like that anymore. I'm saying, I'm talking about the right-wing news networks. They don't fact check like that. The fact that Fox had to pay $700 billion for lying about the election and people still watch them, they still the #1 cable show, is absolutely ridiculous. Well, that should say a lot about who we are as a society. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you and I agree with you what you're saying about the town halls. I think that and that's because it's affecting them. If it wasn't affecting them, they wouldn't care. They'd be all for it. If he was just like messing with the Mexicans, he was messing with the Haitians, he's messing with Venezuelans, and he was cutting down the government and only DEI, i.e. black folks and minorities got fired, they wouldn't have a problem.
100%. I 100% agree with you on that, but that's not the case.
That's not the case.
Right.
But
so what we're doing is like go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, man.
No, what I'm saying is like I think we're saying the exact same thing, Ship. Bob. I think we're on the same page, except the only thing is that you're looking at it in a little different way than I'm looking at it. Right? It's because you, in your perspective, you're not the average American, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You aren't. I mean, you got to look at none of us, I don't think, on this call are average Americans. We are above average people, right? So our viewpoint isn't going to be like the average person, the 51% of the people, right? We're not going to look at it like that because we don't see it in that. We're not in that cloud space anymore. You understand? Does that make sense? So what I'm saying is like, so what I mean by that is like a lot of people aren't going to see things. We can see through things because we can see things first, or we can see things a little bit ahead of people that don't have, education. They're still at that sixth grade reading level, bro. Some people are less than that. Some people don't even get there. Some people don't even get internet, man. There are still people in the United States who do not get the internet, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those are in those rural freaking red states.
And who try to give it to them?
Correct. Yes. No. But no, everybody was trying to give it to them. But if you think about this, but they're gonna give it to them, and they're gonna be able to spread their own information, which is gonna be bad. You feel what I mean? But the whole thing is like that is the people that's the 51% of people that are freaking still thinking and doing the same kind of stupid stuff that they were doing back in the day. But it's not really 51% anymore. It's more like a 49-51 flip on that, right? Because I guarantee you, if they was to have an election today, it wouldn't be the same way. It wouldn't be the same outcome. It wouldn't, right?
I think. Go ahead.
That was it.
No, I think if the outcome changes because more people that sat on the sidelines came out and voted. I don't think you're going to get more white men to vote for her. I don't think you're going to get a lot more white women to vote for her. I don't think you want to. You may get some more black men to vote for her, but there's misogyny there too. Like I don't think it's a coincidence that the only reason he won twice, the only time he won is against women. I don't think that's a coincidence to me.
Oh heck no. No.
Because I mean I've listened to a radio show before when this kid was 19 years old and he just said he was literally on the phone with his mama was on the phone, gave him the phone to talk to the radio host because he said it in front of his mother. I could not vote for a black woman to be president. Said in front of his mother. I don't think a black woman can do it.
Agreed. I got uncles, bro, that said the exact same thing, bro. These cats raised me, man. You understand what I mean? Like, Are you freaking kidding me? Like, you mean to tell me that you would rather vote for this dude than somebody that's super qualified? You got raised by, you know what I'm saying? You know what they're capable of doing and raising and doing things correctly. You mean to tell me that you would still vote for this clown mother blue? Yes, I would. I hung up on him. Listen. There are people out here just exactly what you just said. They just didn't want a woman. It didn't have to be a black woman. It could have been a green woman. Nothing. They just didn't want a woman to be in charge of a country that they feel that women. And this is no slight on you, Holly, because I know you in here. Because I know you're a superstar. But the whole thing is like they don't want a woman to be in charge of a country of all these freaking men. What would that say about us? You feel what I mean? I guess that's how the way they look at it. You feel what I mean? Which is kind of stupid because other countries have all had leaders at the presidential or prime minister type levels. You feel what I mean? And they done successfully, already done really, really great. Now that was the key part. You hit the nail on the coffin. And if you really want to look at it, if you look at the backgrounds of the societies of all those people, let's go with us. Who's the head of the household in the white house? In the white household? It's usually a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the head of the household in the black house? A black man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go to Hispanics who really are cool ass people, but they don't look at women the exact same. They are subservient to them. Go to freaking any nationality. you are always going to have the man of the household, and women are not. They can be just as smart, just as qualified, make more money, but the man is still going to be that little bit more higher because they're a man, which doesn't make sense to me. But that's just how larger society looks at it.
Yeah, yeah.
In my opinion.
All right. I just left. I thought EZ was in here. Nope. He just. Oh, you coming back? EZ, are you here? Can you hear us? No, he can't hear us yet. Okay. I absolutely.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you go. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours. You're on the couch. You're sitting on the couch. Go.
Oh, I wasn't ready to talk yet. There was a couple of things that I wanted to say. I was out with the dog, but yeah, I'm a hold for now, but I will
Okay. All right.
chime in later.
Well, while you get your thoughts together, I want to like Ronnie. I think like you was talking about this, the media and information and stuff like that. Like I said, I got another segment, called, I watch so that way you don't have to. And I just wanted to show you just this one video. The first video right here is just this lady is talking about the economy and how what's happening with the market going down is a good thing. It's a good thing. And the fact that the market was going up when it was going up is a bad thing. Okay, where is it? Where'd it go? Hold on. Holly, you got anything?
No, I agree with Ronnie on the point, to his point, that I think there's still a lot of growth to be had in this country with women being seen as, just take away the fact that you're a woman, that you're capable and you're qualified to do the job. There's, unfortunately, in 2025, just like we're still dealing with Jim Crow and everything else, we're still dealing with a sexist nation as well, because I wasn't a big Kamala fan. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was not. And being a Black woman, but I knew she was qualified. Her record spoke for itself, but she was I think one of the other people on here said the lesser of the two poisons. And that's how I felt about it. But for people to go out and vote for this clown simply because he's a man, I think that, and then some of the reasonings they put behind giving him their support was just ridiculous. But yeah, I agree with Ronnie on the male. And that, what was that community, that Arab community that he won? We knew. You didn't even have to tell me that none of them, because they women treated like second-class citizens. So you know they wasn't.
100%.
She was Black too. So that was not happening. I mean, that could have gone without being said. But yeah, just that.
All right, I'm gonna show you like our this bizarre world that we got going on, and when you watch right wing media.
How these indexes have performed since the inauguration. Taylor, great to have you with us.
Yes, and you know what? I could not agree more with Kevin O'Leary. He's spot on. I think so many people, it's so easy to panic on days like today, but if you woke up, anything changed today about the fundamental awesome story of Microsoft? No. So this is panic selling. And to Kevin's point, it's healthy, it's good. We came into these markets 2 straight years where the market went straight up. That's not healthy either, right? I'm
going to stop it right there. She said 2 years of the market going up is not healthy. So basically, is that a bizarre world, or is it not?
100%, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you too. Like, this is what they're watching. This is what they're being fed with. This is literally what the market going up for 2 years is a bad thing because it's going down now under him.
And I was just going to say the market going up for 2 years was a bad thing because there was a Democrat in office.
Yes.
Correct.
So now watch this one when it comes to the economy.
The effect of tariffs on a nationwide economy. Taylor Riggs, the host of the Big Monday show, the Big Money show, just now with Martha McCallum, described it as taking a patient off of a ventilator. It takes a while to reduce government spending and expect an economy to completely recover. The analogy that's always worked for me is a drug addict, one who perhaps is addicted to heroin. Once they are pulled off that drug, they often struggle for life. Sometimes have to methadone help them reach a level of health. Our economy has been addicted to government spending. The withdrawal of that government spending can send the patient, our economy, into a health crisis. But ultimately, it has to withdraw to once again get healthy. That seems to have largely been understood by President Trump, who has been warning about the possibility of a recession.
That's it. That's it. That's all. The economy is a heroin addict. Yes, this is what you see. Like again, I watch so you don't have to.
Thank you. Because I would have been completely upset. I appreciate you watching that. There's no way I could have watched that. Because tariffs, that has nothing to do with everything Donald Trump does is personal and petty.
Echo again.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That's me.
Period. What he does is personal. It's personal and petty. Every move he makes is personal and petty. If you look at it, I got CNN in the background while we're on this call, and now he's threatening to take up the tariffs to 200%. Because somebody ain't backing down to him. So it's a tit for tat. It's nothing for the greater good of the people or anything like that. It's personal and it's petty with him, period.
How do you get through the people that I concur as well, that watch Fox News and Newsmax? How do you get them to see reality when they're saying the market going down is good, when the market goes up is bad? And they're like, yeah,
But you don't. And you said it in the very beginning, what you said when you started your podcast is you said, hey, kid, that pot is hot. Don't touch it. But what is that kid going to do?
He gonna touch it.
Until they learn until they touch that hot thing and get burnt, they're not gonna learn. So we can scream and we can holler, we can freaking show all the numbers all we want until these clowns burn themselves on that pot, which they're getting right now. They're not gonna understand and learn it. Does that make sense? So don't even waste your time with that kind of stuff, because all you're gonna do is frustrate yourself, and you're gonna sit back. We're gonna sit back and be like, how the heck do you not see what I see? It's because we are different-minded people, bro. You feel what I mean? We are not in the same arena mentally, right? And if you look at the wording that he's using a drug addict. Who do you think he's talking to about drug dependencies and people ODing and needing methadone and wherever the heck? Who you think he ain't talking to us? He talking to them people in the rural area that barely got internet. They still got freaking those damn what's those first phones we had? Them big old garage door opener. Them cats. They ain't even got them janks. They're talking to them people because that's what they watch. Because you don't whatever that channel is. You're not gonna I don't know what channel that was, but in those kind of places, they only get like a certain number of television channels, right? They only get. I'm serious. I'm being dead ass. I mean but you can program. That's what I was trying to get to. You can program. Humans are so easily programmed, bro. We are the easiest thing to program and switch our mind thinking. Easy. Right? That's who they're talking to. And those people don't even invest in the stock market. They don't even have an invested interest
about that,
in what's happening to it. Which is crazy.
They are the least he's worried about. The absolute last
That's the point.
people.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Holly. That's the sad piece of it.
Yep.
100%. And they don't see it until they get burnt on that fucking stove. And right now, a lot of them are starting to get burnt on that stove, and all of them like, oh, ouch, ouch. And that's why a lot of those people, those cats, aren't going to these town halls. It's going to happen. It's going to happen slowly, and it's going to happen at a faster rate. And that's why this administration is doing all this crazy stuff. And it's a short amount of time because they know they have a limited amount of time to get it done. Because one, either the house is going to be taken back over, and then once that's done, it's a wrap, or two, the people are gonna be like, this ain't happening fast enough. You got to freaking go, bruh. And at that point, it's gonna be a problem because we can't do that. You know what I mean? The people aren't gonna be able to do that for a long period of time because that's when you can't take them out of office in the uproar or whatever they fucking call it, right?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's gonna happen in 2028. That's going down. If he did it in
Yeah, he's out of here before that.
well,
If you think so,
he's
so
not.
you think
Either way, whether he out on time or early, he's not leaving. The peaceful turnover of power is not going down. It's not. He is not going to peacefully turn over nothing unless somebody, do something unaliving.
Mm-hmm. Which
No, I agree.
honestly, I don't want to see
agree.
any of that. I don't think anybody on this podcast want to see any of that. But I just
Agreed.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if he's going to try to stay in office. It wouldn't surprise me if he did. I just think it depends on how many faculties he has left, to be honest with you. That's what I think depends on how hard he tries to stay in office.
The problem is he's what, 78?
70, 78, yeah.
78. I don't know about you, but it's like, why? At 78, why do you want to even do this job?
Yeah.
Follow the money, Holly. Follow the money.
I get it.
He's making so much money off of it. Yeah.
But
yeah,
I get it. But it's just, I don't know. Just at 78, I'm trying to kick back and chill out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have all these issues.
I agree.
I agree, but hey, listen, money is a powerful freaking motivator. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People do some strange things for some change. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yes, they will.
Hey, so we got another guest in here. Vanessa, are you on?
Oh, yeah.
I'm here.
All right. So sorry it took me a little bit to get to you. How did you feel about the videos and the podcast and just you're on the couch? It's your turn. Go ahead, go for it, baby.
Well, I just think carrying on what we were just talking about, I don't know who's going to tell the billionaires, but like, you can't take it with you. I don't understand amassing so much and doing all the things that they're doing right now to, all the mechanisms they're pulling, all the things they're unplugging to make themselves more money. You can't take it with you. So I don't know. I don't understand the motivation behind, like, when's enough? And I don't understand how, like, I went to a veterans meeting today. I was the only woman in the room. I got sweethearted and come here deared, by all of them. That's that misogyny shit we're talking about. But the big thing that killed me, they started talking about the benefits that are getting cut by our state and some of the adjustments that the VAC is having to make to accommodate what they're already giving people who are grandfathered in. And every single person in this room turns on the speaker like the speaker made the decisions. Half of them are in Trump gear. And I'm like, do you not understand who just did this to you? This is not this man's fault. He's the messenger. You voted for the dude who's taking all our stuff away because our state budget can't compensate for the gaps in funding. So we're losing programs. And one of the programs that we're losing in our county right now is housing placement. And there was an extra job placement thing that the county did that kind of coupled with the veterans retraining programs that you get, depending on your percentage of disability. And these guys are up in arms about it. And I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, they're talking about, before the meeting started, they were bad mouthing the bartender because we were at an American Legion post. They're bad mouthing the bartender because she asked for a raise because they aren't required to provide insurance or anything like that. So she's like, I need a little bit more. The kids are getting expensive, so I want to bump. And they're bitching about paying her a living wage while they're singing this dude's praises. And I'm like, why is it okay for this man to make millions of dollars a day? And you're okay with that and you're comfortable with that, but you're not okay paying your bartender who's doing everything in this building by herself right now. She's the only person on staff clocked in, a living wage. I don't understand the juxtaposition between that. How is it okay for somebody to make millions a day, but you're going to come at this girl you are watching sweat and be mad because she wants to be able to feed her kids? I don't know. That's my rant.
I don't understand it either. So you're saying that the people in the Trump gear was blaming the county commissioner for
They were mad at the VA instead of
at
being mad at the person who sets the VA policies.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm saying? They're like,
Yeah.
they're mad at the VA rep because he's like, look, these programs are on pause right now. If you were expecting a check or if you were expecting, like there was a couple things because they pay, they'll pay like your rent and like your groceries and stuff like that. And then depending on your involvement, they give you vouchers for other things. And it's a program run by our county. but it's through the VAC.
VA. Yeah.
Right. So the VAC spokesperson is trying to explain, this is our weekly meeting. We go once a week. Here's what's going on for some of you who haven't been here. These programs are on pause, and you need to talk with your counselor if you're involved in these programs so that you know what we're prepared to do to kind of try to cushion the blow. Whatever, he's just giving everybody all the information he has. And these dudes in Trump gear are yelling at him like he cut the budget instead of, I don't know, looking in a mirror and like looking at how their selfishness is now, biting themselves in the ass.
So Ronnie, how do you fix that?
So I'm gonna give you guys something to think about, right? So those people that are doing stupid stuff, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say they're doing. In their perspective, they're gonna just want to blame somebody. They can't blame the guy that's in the castle on the hill. They can blame the person that's in front of them, even though that person in front of them doesn't have anything to do with it. But I want you to think about something for a second, right? So why do we join the military? I just follow along with me, and this is going to tell you how and why
to create a better life for myself.
Why these Trumpsters are gonna like kind of follow him until they find out like, oh, this is maybe not the right thing. Why you think we joined the military?
To create a better life for myself.
Yeah, I went to college.
Yeah, right, for a reason, right? We thought we was doing the right thing. We protect our people and make a better life for ourselves and do all this other stuff. Right? No matter what we had to go do, even if we had to go and do, go invade Iraq and do all this kind of stuff, right? Because we think we're doing everything right. Correct?
Right.
At the time when we were executing those orders, were we doing things right? In our minds, we were.
Yeah.
Correct? Come to find out what?
We shouldn't have been going in Iraq.
No weapons of mass destruction.
So right. So that's the point I'm trying to make. So that's where they are. Those people are us in the beginning, right? Patriots. Oh yes, we gotta defend our country, and everybody else is bad. We're the only good people on the block, and we're doing all good. And then you realize, like, man, we do some jacked up stuff. You feel what I mean? That's what's happening to some of these people, right? Some of these people are starting to wake up to these things, right? That's what a lot of them are. They haven't been slapped enough, or they ain't burnt themselves on that pot yet. And as like I was saying, as this time is going on, a lot of more people getting slapped in that face, getting fired, losing benefits from the state, doing all this stuff. Now it's affecting them and their kids and their bottom line. Like you were saying earlier, if it's not affecting us, it doesn't bother us. And honestly, is it really affecting us?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's affecting me personally because of my job and the things, things that I do. So yeah, it's affecting me personally at this point.
You ain't got a thing in world to worry about, bro. If you was to stop working right now, what would happen?
I don't know. I mean, I'm
saying is it affecting you financially? No.
All across the board.
But there's other aspects to be, financially, no.
Like some of the proposals that they have for federal employees is atrocious.
Yeah, like it's survivable.
Yeah,
right. So think about this for a second, right? And this is why it's so crazy, because we've all been through this society has been through some crazy stuff. Went through Civil War, been Jim Crow, been slavery, blah blah blah, all this crazy stuff, right? All these crazy things. We still survive, right? We always came out on the other end of that. And people now, they're trying to tell you now, it's like, oh, it's going to be so crazy. We're never going to get out of it. Yes, you are. Because we as a collective are going to find a way to get out of it. Right. So that's why a lot of us don't look at all this propaganda and this stuff. All they're doing is riling people up. You know what I'm saying? Don't go by what somebody's saying. Go by what they're doing. Watch really what they're doing. Right. That's what people need to really be paying attention to. So that state thing that Vanessa, that state thing, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to, instead of it putting it on them and the government, they saying, no, we're gonna give it back to the states. The states are gonna do that. So the states look bad, not the government. He's gonna look like he the greatest person on the planet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's gonna be way away from all the crap, because they can be like, oh, the states did that, wasn't us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But ultimately it was because you gave the order. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna give me no paper. I can't do that. I ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? So that's that, but they got to just be real with folk. That's what they need to be telling them. Listen, the government said if we don't chop these freaking janks, this is what that has to happen. We need this $400 billion to come to the states from the government to run these things. If we don't get this money, this is what's going to happen. But they're not telling people that, man. They're not really getting down and telling them the real stuff that's really happening to them financially and economically and by laws and all the other stuff that they're trying to take away from people, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the bad part, and that's what they're doing. And if, in my opinion, what I'm looking at is what are we looking like in the rest of the world? That's what I'm paying attention to.
Horrible.
That's what I pay attention to, because
Horrible.
us, the United States, we gonna be all right. We've been through, man. We done been through some stuff. You see what I'm saying? But on a global scale, you can't put yourself in a certain situation. You feel what I mean? I'm a street dude. You know what I mean? I know how I work. At home, we sweet. But if you in the streets and you ugly, you gonna have a whole lot of folks on your head, and you might not even know they on your head. If you ain't doing the right stuff, if you not feeding everybody else, somebody gonna take your spot. That's
So we got
how I go.
Yep, we got a few more guests that came in. First, Anthony, you came in here first. What do you got to say? You on couch? And can you hear? All right, we're gonna move on. We get back to you in here in a minute. Mike, you actually got the video on. What's going on, my brother?
What's up? How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm just chilling here, man. Just observing everything. Just witnessed the Democrats folding again with their vote.
They did. They did.
They're planning to concede, man.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance to get to the Democrats yet. But go ahead. Go. You on the couch, man? Go for it.
I'm just listening. I'm listening. I'm enjoying.
Okay. Yeah. So I think this is a good segue to actually talk about the Democrats, because I am extremely disappointed in them. They don't have a fight. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to like I said, all they have is this last vote for the budget. And I understand that shutting down the government is not a good thing. However, you need something for your vote. They're just bullying them. They're just flat out bullying them. And we're getting nothing for it. You know, the Republicans they don't know how to govern, but they know how to fight, and they know how to message. And Democrats don't know how to do either one, but they know how to govern.
I agree, because you look at it, the Republicans got control of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You have one thing that you actually can stand up for the people and say, we're not going to take this. We're not going to fold. We're not going to do this. And then you roll over. We have nothing left. This was their chance to negotiate or get something. And I don't know, did they, because I had it in the background too. Is it Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
Yes.
I seen something that said Schumer's supposed to be. Is that the 30-day one or the rest of the FY?
I believe it's the FY.
Oh wow.
I believe.
Wow.
Don't quote me, because I know earlier he was stating that they were going to fight
about this.
They were going to go all the way. But then when I just saw this flash, and I'm watching CNN as we speak, it just flashed on that they're going to concede. I guess they realized that they don't have enough votes to block.
Wow.
And that they was going to pass.
They only needed they needed 8 Democrats to roll over.
Yeah.
I guess they got 8 to roll over.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I mean, it's simple stuff to me. Say you can't fire people without due process, without giving them that stuff. I think the American people will be like, yeah, you know what? I can agree with that. We need to make sure that the people that we're firing are eligible for unemployment, that it's not hard for them to get unemployment. There's so many people that got fired, they can't get into their records to even get unemployment. So they're fired, they ain't got no money, can't even get unemployment. You know, like let's say the $1 billion that we just took away from school lunches, let's put that back in there. Cancer research, let's put that back. These are things that we gotta have for us to sign off on this. Things that every American will be able to say, yeah, we need that. Fight for those things.
They are not fighting for anything. And I think that's the part that's people that's actually paying attention is really pissed off about. I know right now with you saying that I really thought that they would have held out and stood their ground and got something out of this.
Something.
But you saying they didn't sign the rest of the FY is crazy to me.
No, I gotta verify. That's crazy. I heard 30 days. I heard the 30 days so they can come back on a different thing, but I ain't seen. Maybe something changed since I've been paying attention to it.
Yeah, and again, don't quote me on that.
I'm reading on it now.
Yeah, because they said what I heard they was going to do is going to give them 30 days to come back with the different, I guess the different line item thing that they're supposed to do for a budget and say exactly where this money's going to go and not give Trump and them this blank ass check. They can just give it all to say
billionaire buddies.
They want. I don't think
Right.
that. I don't think that happened.
I think it's a
hope
1
not.
month.
If it
The
did-
next steps, this is right from CNN. The New York senator said that they are still negotiating a time agreement and possible amendment votes, and that an amendment vote for Democrats' 1 month funding bill
Right.
is still on the table. So maybe they're doing a 1 monther.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I heard it from all the stuff earlier or throughout the day. I don't know, probably about an hour and a half ago, and I'm like, maybe something changed I ain't seen yet because I've been on this thing. But yeah.
Yeah,
that would be freaking asinine. They did some craziness like that. That'd be crazy.
Anthony, did you get your mic situated? Can you talk yet? No, you still can't unmute for some reason.
Maybe we got to turn this thing around or something so you can see it.
I'm just extremely disappointed in the Democrats. I just feel like, just like even the parts where I've been arguing with people on Facebook for weeks now, especially the part when they say Democrats didn't even stand up for the boy who has Secret Service agent, Secret Service. I said that's a nice gesture. That's a nice gesture, and yeah, they could have stood up for it. But what's more important to you? The gesture of letting this boy be a Secret Service agent for a day, or giving him life-saving research to help save his brain cancer.
Thank you.
That's what's more important
100%.
to me.
Thank you.
100%.
And that's what they cutting. So you happy that they made this little boy a Secret Service agent for the day, when in reality Trump don't care about a Secret Service agent, because would you like me to show the video of Secret Service agent running away on January 6th? So how much does he really care about Secret Service agent? He don't. So you
100%.
happy about this gesture? That's more important to you, the gesture, than actually helping this kid with life-saving research.
Cancer research. Yeah, that was crazy.
Even if it don't save his life, it could help. It could possibly save somebody else's life down the line. That's what's important to me, not them standing up for some bullshit gesture, because that's what it was.
Yep.
Because he don't care about the Secret Service agents, and he don't care about cancer. So it's all bullshit.
All of
it. Yep. But I mean, we can talk about it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Again, the system is going to be the system, right? And and how I look at it, because I kind of understand who we really are, man. You know who the United States really is. We are the modern day Romans, bro.
That's what I think he's going to say, Romans. Yep.
We are the modern day. I'm dead ass. You know how much research I've looked into this? We are the modern day Romans. That's it. You know what I mean? And the country is so young. People don't realize that too. It's like the country is, we're relatively a very young country. We're gonna go through
compared to
we're gonna go through a whole bunch of dumb people like this. What we're gonna do, and it's a great thing that I'm gonna say it's a great thing that this does happen at this time, because what's gonna happen is we're gonna learn from this. Hopefully, I shouldn't say hope. We're gonna learn from this and realize, like, hey, this is really why we have all these situations the way that we have them. That's all the laws the way they are. That's how the Constitution is supposed to be why it's at. That's why we had all these programs. That's what people don't keep forgetting about. It's like, what was it like before we had those programs they're starting to shut off? Because those programs were put in place for a reason. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So what people like, it's going to cut the meat and the fat, and then eventually, it'll stop cutting so much meat. Well, okay. It's going to go back from, we're going to use instead of a hatchet, we're going to use a scalpel. You're still cutting something, and you still have the opportunity to freaking do some real damage, because if you cut the wrong thing, it might be something vital. You feel what I mean? That you don't even realize it's vital.
You could bleed out.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't like that concept of, we got to use a scalpel or a hatchet. No, I don't want to use anything. I want you to use the system that we freaking got built for it. Go through the process. Let the right people go through all these committees. Ask all these super smart people. Ask all these super smart questions. Do all the research, and then let the process work from that point. You can't give somebody a weapon, bro, and expect them to not do something that's gonna hurt somebody one way or another.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Right.
Because he got rid of everyone in every single department that had any sense as to what their job was. Not one.
He got rid of all the IGs, and the IGs literally in their job title is to get rid of fraud, waste, and abuse. That's literally their job title.
100%.
He got rid of everything. Look at who he assigned to Health and Human Services. Look who's in charge of stuff. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yep.
100%. Yeah.
I have a question, Vanessa. Where's she where you located at, Vanessa?
Illinois.
Oh, you're in Illinois. Okay. I was just curious.
It's cold up there. Whoa. But no, that's the whole thing. Like, listen, we can talk about this a lot, and that's great. I love this, Bobby. Thank you. Thank you for setting this up, bro. Because this is what we really need. I'm gonna give you your flowers, bro. This is what we really need to do: is discuss these type of things, talk about them, be open about it, be truthful, listen to everybody's perspective on it, make your own assumptions on it. You feel what I mean? And move from there. And don't take and the bigger part of that is don't take none of this personally. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you need to take all of it personally.
No. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about us. And I ain't talking about the rest of this crazy shit that's happening. No. That shit is a lot of that is definitely personal. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about in this podcast that Chip has put together, bro. This is really what we need to start doing on the larger scale. I hope this continues.
Every Thursday at 6. I'm gonna do it every week now.
I shared this with a lot of people. I shared this with a lot of people that I think will benefit from this. We cool with sharing, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to get as many people as possible. Like I said, I put out my YouTube. I got a YouTube channel that I started for it that is running live. It's running live on YouTube and on Facebook, and Instagram. So,
but your podcast is 6 Central every Thursday.
6 Central every Thursday, 7 Eastern.
Okay.
Every Thursday, we're going to run it every Thursday, and hopefully next week, I'm hoping to find a minority Trumper to come on and have a conversation. But
well, you know who I'm inviting next week.
Please do.
I'm gonna invite my brother.
Please do.
I'm gonna invite my son.
Please do.
He's a freaking Trumpster like a man. Me and him have man. I'll be on his ass every time we talk.
Yep. I'm inviting Ruben next week.
Yeah, tell him I said what up though.
I will.
But listen, y'all gotta hear. But my brother's like super smart, man. But the cat is he's a business dude, right? So that's what his mindset is. Like, dude, you got to look past yourself, bro. These people are gonna affect you down the line. These gonna be your customer. You can't have them all. They ain't gonna have no money to come use your services, bro. Now he's gonna affect you. You know what I mean? Like, stop thinking that way. But I'm telling you, I got my uncles and him. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
Please invite him. Please have him come on.
Listen,
and tell him the number one thing is gonna be. Excuse me. It's gonna be respectful, but it's gonna be factual.
No,
it's gonna be respectful, but it's gonna be factual. Because tell them to prepare. Please tell them to prepare.
Listen,
bring
receipts next in line.
Listen. I give them the flames every time I'm on the game, baby. Listen, they are open to all that stuff. It'll be very, very like receptive on both on those ends. Trust me.
Okay.
But
I think into Ronnie's point, this is amazing that you've started this up. One, it gives you a platform to speak. Two, not just necessarily with all like-minded people either. You know what I mean? You want to be able to get on here and learn something, and maybe your perspective on different things may change. So I too want to give you your flowers and thank you for this as well. So this is good stuff. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to get off here in a second. So my last segment is going to be thank you for the flowers. And the last segment is going to be like the cleaner palette. So I want something every week. So accomplishments, new grandkids, because that's what it's going to be today. Today is going to be about my new grandkid that I just got.
Okay.
But I want accomplishments. I want, if you got a kid that just got a new scholarship, you know what I'm saying? You got a kid that's joining the military. You got a kid that just opened their own business, or you just open your own business. Whatever it is, I want something positive to end the pod every week. So this week we're going to end the pod with my new grandchild. His name is Robert Ship V, affectionately known as Cinco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Cinco. Yeah, so that's little Bobby, little Cinco. But Bobita, I'm trying to remember how his mama said it, because his mom is Latina. So but Bobita, Bobtito, I gotta remember it. Anyway, we call him Cinco because he's the fifth.
I was about to say, you better come up with something.
He's the fifth.
Yeah. So we call him Cinco. So that's how we're going to end today's show.
Nice.
Is off of something positive, like I said. So next week, send me what you got. You know, whatever's going on with your kids, with yourself, family members. We're gonna always end it on something positive, because that's how we got it. We're in a great place, so we want to lead the pod in a great place. You know what I mean? It's been great talking to y'all. I appreciate y'all coming on.
Absolutely.
I truly
And thank you for
do.
this platform, for sure.
Yeah, we're going to do every Thursday at 6 Central, 7 Eastern. Get the word out. Please go to my YouTube page, like and subscribe, because that's going to help the algorithm try to get more people that we don't know to get on there to be able to see. I'm gonna be posting my YouTube channel on my Facebook. That way people can go on there and like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna give y'all all lasting words. We're gonna start left to right. So Vanessa, what do you got?
I didn't hear the last part.
Just in any parting shots as we leave.
What
would you like to say?
And looking forward to next week. Beautiful grandbaby.
Thank you.
And as far as like the conversation, I just think that it's really important to keep having it, and I really appreciate you doing this.
Thank you. All right, Mike, what you got?
Congratulations. Everybody just stay in prayer and look forward to next week.
You put that cup back down.
Hey, no, get your cup, bruh. Get your cup.
Holly?
No kidding.
Just one, thank you again for this platform and this outlet, because a lot of times you do have a lot of things going on and you need somebody to talk about these things with, and it's not always easy to bring these conversations up. So this is a safe place to voice our opinions, and I appreciate that. And one thing I do know is I know who is still on the throne, regardless of whatever we got going on. We're gonna stay prayed up, and we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna be cognizant of everything and make smart choices, but nothing catches God by surprise. So I'm just going to continue to just have faith and be smart about it at the same time. So thank you again.
Thank you. Ronnie?
Hey, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate everybody, taking the time out to actually have an open dialogue. So the only thing I'm gonna ask for, Bobby, is like for your next podcast, are you gonna let us know what the topic is gonna be?
Yeah, I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
I'll put it out there. Yeah.
But no, listen, like I said, I appreciate everything that you're doing, bro. Setting this up, getting us all together. It's gonna do, and all they're gonna do is get better and more popular and more input from other people to help out with this thing, because this is something that we really need to be discussing. About everything. Congratulations on the grandson, man. Don't kidnap your kid. Don't kidnap your grandbaby, dog. Don't kidnap your get your grandbaby.
He going
back.
out your way. My grandson gonna be in Norfolk. My son getting stationed in Norfolk. He get down there in a couple of weeks. He moved from Brighton to Norfolk.
Give my info. I'm out here.
I will.
But no, listen, I'm looking forward to next week, man. Great dialogue, great fellowship. Like Holly said, God is in control. And as long as we got that in favor, we're going to be sweet. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I know one subject next week is definitely going to be on about the HUD, the cuts that they do on the HUD, because that's a big one. And we're going to talk more about Project 2025. A lot more about Project 2025, because I didn't even get to, there's actually a Project 2025 tracker. I can give it to you guys now. We'll just wait till next week, but it actually goes through every department and shows you what progress they have done and want to do with every department in the government.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll talk more about that next week. And just like current affairs, there's going to be a lot of current affairs, you know what I mean? And it's going right now is all Trumpified, but it's going to be other things that happen in the world. We got the Diddy child coming up, and just things, we never know what happens, something going to happen and we're like, oh, let's talk about it. All right. So
hey, we got to talk about Kales, bro. We got to talk about that Kale song.
All right. All right, well, y'all have a
Alright.
good one. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next
Absolutely.
week. All
Love you
right.
too, brother. Y'all
Be
take
safe, bro.
care.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.